Hi friends and welcome. My name is Victoria and I'm a mindful movement teacher. Today I have a very accessible all levels flow that is meant to invite fluidity and movement into the body. So we're going to be moving in a way that feels very intuitive, that feels very rhythmic. There will be a lot of options for you to either make this a little bit more challenging or a little bit more accessible depending on what you really need today. I will be demoing how to use blocks and a strap. We don't need them. However, if you do feel like you need that extra bit of support today, there's nothing wrong with that, right? You can use either a strap if you own one, or a regular belt, a towel, anything that you can loop around your feet, and then blocks or really any solid items that are going to provide height off the floor. I won't be playing any music, but you are welcome to play music in the background if you'd like, or just make this a little bit of a silent practice. As always, everything that I offer you is simply just that, right? An offer, an invitation. You are not required or obligated to take anything that doesn't agree with you or your body in that moment. So really taking the liberty to adapt this to your own body today. We're going to start in an upright seat for our practice. So you can either sit on your sitting bones, on a block, if you want to elevate your hips, on your shins, really whatever feels best here in this moment. And you can start to let your hands rest on your knees, start to close your eyes or soften your gaze here if you feel comfortable. Just beginning to bring awareness to your breath, to the natural rhythm of your breath. Right? Noticing the way that your belly, your rib cage, and your chest expand with every inhale. And the way that everything collapses down with every exhale. Really focus here on rooting down through your sitting bones, finding length throughout your spine, and then reaching the crown of your head up to the ceiling. Noticing if you are flaring out your rib cage or arching through your spine, can you keep everything nice and tight here? And just continuing to breathe here for about 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. Really putting everything else on hold, putting everything on pause, knowing that it will still be there when you are done with your practice today. And then when you're ready from here, inhale to sweep your arms up overhead, lengthen through your spine, lift your gaze. Exhale, twist to the right. Bring your left hand around your right knee, right fingertips behind you onto the floor. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine. And then exhale, twist. Keeping this very gentle, right? We are just starting to arrive into our bodies, just starting to arrive onto our mats. Really thinking about keeping that length as you breathe in, and then twisting the slightest bit more as you breathe out. Chin is parallel to the floor, staying for one more inhale. Settle on the exhale. And then on your next inhale, sweep your right fingertips up and forward diagonally, finding this nice side body stretch. Really rotate your right pinky finger in to create space between your ear and your shoulder. Use your bottom hand against your knee as leverage to deepen this even more. Staying for one more inhale. Settle on the exhale. One more inhale, can you lengthen 1 more inch? And then exhale, twist to the left. Right hand rest on your left knee, left fingertips behind you. Inhale to lengthen through your spine. And then exhale to twist. Same points of alignment, just imagining that you have a string running from your tailbone to the crown of your head. It's pulling you up. Chest is loud and proud. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, sweep your left fingertips up and over diagonally. Now finding a nice side body stretch on your left side. Same things, right? Maybe this time you lift your gaze to the middle of your palm. Really lengthening all the way for one more inhale. And then exhale back to center, bringing your hands onto your knees. We'll find seated cat and cows here. So again, using that grip on your hands as leverage. Inhale to shine your heart space forward, arch through your spine, lift your gaze for cow. And then exhale, cat, round and curl through your spine. Bring your chin to your chest, sending your body back behind you. Inhale, cow pose, drive your heart space forward, chin away from your chest. And then exhale, cat, hollowing out through your front side body, really rounding through your spine. And just continue to take your cat and cows here at your own pace. Maybe you start to invite that fluidity into your body, right? Maybe you start to find circles here. Maybe you start to roll out your neck. Really taking anything that feels good here, warming up through your spine, making sure that you balance yourself out. So if you're finding circles, just make sure you switch it out. Staying for one more breath. And then when you're ready, finding your way back to center. From here, interlacing your fingers in front of you, shine your palms forward, lengthen your arms. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, find a side body stretch to the right. Reach your arms to the right as you start to dial your chest open to the ceiling. Again, keeping this gentle. One more breath. And then back to center on the inhale. Exhale, side body stretch to the left this time. Again, shine your palms towards the ceiling. Keep that length in your arms. One more breath. And then back to center, release your arms. From here, finding a wide-legged straddle. So you're gonna extend your legs long in front of you, making sure to activate your quadriceps by really flexing through your feet here. And we're gonna start to activate our hip flexors. So we're gonna start by framing our right thigh with our hands here, right? Staying on your fingertips. And then keeping that length in your spine, start to play around with lifting your leg, right? And then this is not easy, right? So if your leg doesn't lift at all, if it only lifts like 1/4 of an inch, I just want you to start to tap into that sensation, right? If you start to cramp, just roll it out really quickly, shake it out, playing around for one more breath. And then back to center, we'll play around with our left leg. So now frame your left thigh. From here, same thing, starting to activate your hip flexor. Notice if you're starting to round here again, can you puff up through your chest? And again, just noticing that sensation, right? If it doesn't go anywhere, it's okay. Shake it out if you're cramping like I am. One more breath. And then back to center. All right, now friends, we're gonna play around with lifting both of our legs. Again, whether or not they lift, that is a-okay. Just activating your hip flexors here, starting to lift both. Maybe they lift for 1 second, maybe you hold them up for a little bit. One more breath. And then when you're ready, shake it out, and then we'll find our way to our tabletop position here. We're tabletop, just taking 1 or 2 more rounds of cat and cow here, right? So inhale, cow pose, lift your tailbone, shine your sternum forward. And then exhale, cat, round and curl. One more, inhale. And exhale. And then back to center here. From here, inhale to find your high plank position. Step your toes back behind you. We'll stay here for just 1 breath. Really think about spreading all of your toes wide, your fingers wide against the mat. Push the floor away to puff up the space between your shoulder blades. And then activate your legs. So can you distribute the effort here to your lower body? Staying for 1 more inhale. Hold on the exhale. 1 more inhale. Can you lift yourself away from the floor 1 more inch? And then on the exhale, slowly lowering down for 4, for 3, for 2, letting it go on 1. Untuck your toes behind you. From here, bring your fingertips to the floor outside of your mat. We're gonna find a wide arm cobra. So really undulating through your spine. On your next inhale, lift yourself up, shoulders away from your ears, lift your gaze. And then exhale, roll down. We'll let twice more. Inhale, undulate to lift. And then exhale to release. And then 1 more like that. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, let it go. Now listen for the change here. Inhale to lift. Exhale, drop your left shoulder to your midline. Keep your elbows lifted here, staying on your fingertips. We'll do that on the right side. Inhale, back to center, lift. Exhale, right shoulder drops to your midline. We'll do that once more on both sides. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left shoulder drops. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right shoulder drops. Inhale, lift, back to center. And then exhale, slowly rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands back under your shoulders, tuck your toes behind you. Inhale, press up to your high plank or tabletop. And then exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking a second here to settle into the shape. Maybe you pedal into your feet. Maybe you sway your hips side to side, shake your head side to side. Really retracting your shoulders here. Really press into the tips of your fingers to lengthen through your spine and just stay for 1 more breath. And then slowly beginning to find stillness, let your head and neck drop. On your next inhale, three-legged down dog, sweep your right leg back behind you. Exhale, low lunge, gently step it through. And then from here, option to use blocks under your hands if your hamstrings are feeling a little bit tight here. Inhale, lengthen spine, gaze forward. Exhale, extend your right leg, hinge your chest forward, back heel stays lifted. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, bend your knee, lengthen spine, gaze forward. Exhale, extend and hinge. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, let it go. Inhale, back to your low lunge. Move your blocks if you use them. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do that on the other side. Inhale, left heel sweeps back behind you, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge, gently step it through. And then again, if you need your blocks, back heel stays lifted. Inhale, lengthen spine, lift your gaze. Exhale, extend your left leg, hinge forward. Twice more. Inhale, runner's lunge. And then exhale, extend your leg, drop your head and neck. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, extend and hinge. Inhale, back to your low lunge. Move your blocks, plant your hands. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in. Close mouth, exhale. One more breath. And then gently, slowly starting to find baby steps towards the top edge of your mat. Heel to toe, heel to toe. Setting up in your forward fold Uttanasana. So feet are about hips width distance apart. Find a generous bend in your knees. Let your head and neck be heavy. And then maybe you grab opposite elbows, sway side to side. Maybe you shake your head yes, shake your head no. Let your torso be heavy. Really bending into your knees to release your hamstrings. And if you grab to opposite elbows, switch your grip, balance yourself out. And then when you're ready, drop your fingertips to the mat. From here, inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. One more. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, forward fold. Bending your knees again, chin to chest, slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Let your head and neck be the last to come up at the top. And then once you reach the top, maybe you roll your shoulders back, roll them forward, shaking out your wrists, your ankles. And then we'll start to warm up with our sun salutation. Surya Namaskar 8 to start. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, sweep your arms overhead, lengthen spine. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, flow through your Vinyasa. Option for your low cobra, chaturanga, or skip it. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing. 3 rounds of breath. And really pressing into your fingertips to lengthen your spine. Notice if you're arching your back, keep your rib cage knitted in. One more breath. And then from here, lift your heels, soften your knees, step or jump to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, stand tall, reach your arms overhead. Maybe you gaze up at your thumbs. Exhale, Talasana, mountain. We'll flow through that twice more. Inhale, reach overhead, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, lift your gaze. Exhale, option to flow, option to skip it. Gaze stays forward as you lower. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. 3 rounds of breath. Noticing if your breath has gotten quick and shallow, choppy. Can you make it soft and wide again? Really expanding through your belly on your inhales like a jellyfish. And then contracting, pull your belly button in on the exhale. Engaging through your diaphragm this way. And then when you're ready, lift your heels, soften your knees, step or jump to the top. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, stand tall, reach overhead. Exhale, mountain, Talasana, last one, best one. Inhale, reach high, maybe your palms touch. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at your hips. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, flow. Take your time, stay with your breath. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, 3 rounds of breath. Letting go of any tension in your face, in your shoulders. And then when you're ready, lift your heels, soften your knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand tall, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, mountain Tadasana, Surya Namaskar B this time. Inhale, chair Utkatasana, sit low, reach high. We'll start by holding for about 3 rounds of breath here. I want you to really notice where your weight is in your feet, right? Keeping your weight in your heels. If you wanted to, you could lift all 10 toes and press each one down one by one. Rotate your pinky fingers in. And then again, notice if you're sticking your tailbone out, can you knit your ribcage in? Set an inch lower, one more inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, release. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, flow, elbows stay squeezed in. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Right foot steps forward, ground your back heel. Inhale, warrior one, Virabhadrasana, rise. Exhale, option to flow, option to skip it. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Left foot steps forward, ground your back heel. Inhale, warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, flow. How slow can you go here? Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, 3 rounds of breath. Again, slowing your breath down here, using your breath as an anchor into the present moment. And then when you're ready, we'll float that one more time. Lift your heels, soften your knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, mountain Tadasana. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, flow. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Right foot steps forward, ground your back heel. Inhale, warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, flow. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward, ground your back heel. Inhale, warrior one, rise. And then exhale, flow. Beautiful. Staying here for just 3 rounds of breath. Maybe you start to think of an intention here, right? Maybe you want to send your energy or the energy of this practice to someone. You want to dedicate it to them. Maybe you're just moving for the sake of moving today, right? For just showing up for yourself. One more breath. And then when you're ready, lift your heels, soften your knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, mountain Tadasana. From here, bringing your feet wider or as wide as your mat for Malasana Yogi squat. Keeping your sight forward, hands to heart center. Inhale. And then exhale to sit your hips low and breathe here. Now, friends, if you feel this way too intensely around your knees or on your lower back, you can always squeeze a block under your tailbone, right? Let your sitting bones rest on it. Think about pressing the outer edges of your feet down into the mat. Use your elbows to press against your knees, open your hips, drop your tailbone. Chest is loud and proud here, yeah? Chin parallel to the floor. And just 2 more rounds of breath. And then from here, plant your hands onto the mat. Inhale to extend your legs. And then exhale, forward fold, feet together or hips width distance. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, step back to your high plank. From your high plank, downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. From here, we'll start to flow. So inhale, 3-legged down dog, right heel kicks back. Exhale, knee to nose, round and curl, push the floor away. Inhale, 3-legged down dog, kick back. Exhale, step it through. Keep your back heel lifted. Inhale, high crescent. Sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Pivot your feet. Bend your left knee. Root down through your right heel. So we're facing the back of our mats now. Staying here for about 2 or 3 rounds of breath. Lengthening through your arms. Bend into your front knee. Really taking up most of the space in your mat here. And then on your next inhale, star pose, open up through all 4 limbs, parallel your feet. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold, hinge from your hips, let your head and neck drop. Now from here, friends, you have about 3 or 4 rounds of breath to really play around here, right? Again, making this intuitive, taking what your body needs. So if you want to open up through your hips, you can just bend into one knee and then the other. If you want to open up through your chest, you can find your heart openers by finding a bind behind you. Either fingers interlace, or you cup each elbow, or you just let your torso drop here, right? Letting gravity open up through your hamstrings, your adductors, your inner thighs. And just 2 more rounds of breath. And then from here, walking your fingertips back under your shoulders if they're not there already. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, release, undulating through your spine. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, roll forward, halfway lift. Exhale, release, let it go. 1 more, inhale, flat back, roll forward. And then exhale, let it all go. From here, inhale, flat back, lift your gaze. Exhale, goddess squat, heels in, toes out, lift your torso, cactus your arms. 1 breath here, really setting it up. Think about pressing your knees away from each other. Again, lengthen spine by closing your rib cage. Beautiful. From here, inhale, extend your legs, open through your arms. Exhale, goddess squat. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, open, lengthen. Exhale, goddess squat. 1 more, inhale, open. Exhale, goddess squat. And then from here, bringing your hands to the insides of your knees. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, press your left hand against the inside of your left knee. Drop your left shoulder to your midline. Oh, I don't know if you heard those cracks. Inhale, back to center, lift. Exhale, right shoulder drops to your midline. We'll do that once more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left shoulder drops. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, right shoulder drops. Inhale, lifting back to center. Settling on the exhale. Inhale, star open. Exhale, warrior two to the front. Now you're bending into your right knee here. Inhale, reverse warrior. Sweep your front arm up and back. Exhale, option to flow, option to skip it. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. We'll do all of that on the left side. Inhale, left heel kicks back this time. Exhale, knee to nose, round and curl. Inhale, kick back, lengthen. Exhale, low lunge, step it through. Inhale, high crescent, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two to the back. So again, pivoting your feet, bending your right knee this time. Left leg is long. 2 to 3 rounds of breath. Notice if you're reaching forward or back, center your shoulders over your hips. Press your right knee to the pinky toe edge of your right foot. From here, inhale, start opening through all 4 limbs. And then exhale, wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to turn to face you. You can always widen your stance here, right? This time, we'll change it up a little bit. You're going to walk your fingertips back behind you. Fingers face the same direction you're facing, so the back, right? From here, planting your hands down. So if you need to bring them a little bit closer, you can. And then start to bend your elbows, squeeze them in like chaturanga arms. So you're going to start to shift your weight forward towards your toes. Let your head and neck drop closer to the floor. Staying for 3 more rounds of breath. Seeing how low you can go. And then when you're ready, bringing your hands back under your shoulders. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Twice more, undulating. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, let it go. 1 more. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, flat back, lift your gaze. Exhale, goddess squat. Heels in, toes out. And then from here, once again, you can find this hip opener. So hands to the insides of your knees. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, left shoulder drops to your midline. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right shoulder drops to your midline. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left shoulder drops. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right shoulder drops. From here, back to center. Inhale, star pose, open. Exhale, warrior two to the front. Bend your left knee. Don't let me confuse you. I just switched directions, right? But you're bending into your left knee, gazing the front of your mat again. Inhale, reverse warrior, sweep up and back. Exhale, option to flow, option to skip it. Take your time. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. 3 rounds of breath here. Now, friends, we're gonna move through that a little bit quicker. 1 breath, 1 movement. We'll skip all of the little additions that we made, right? So we're just gonna find our high crescent, warrior two to the back, star, goddess, star, warrior two to the front, and then flowing. So 1 more breath here. And then when you're ready, we'll move through it. Inhale, 3-legged down dog, right heel kicks back. Exhale, knee to nose, round and curl. Inhale, kick back, lengthen. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent lunge, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two to the left leg, pivot your feet. Inhale, star open. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lift your gaze. Exhale, goddess squat. Inhale, star open. Exhale, warrior two to the front. Beautiful. Inhale, reverse warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, option to flow, option to skip it, and meet me in down dog. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Inhale, left heel kicks back. Exhale, knee to nose, squeeze your heel to your glute. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, low lunge, let it go. Inhale, high crescent, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two to the back, bending your right knee. Inhale, star open. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, flat back, lift your gaze. Exhale, goddess squat. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two to the front. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, flow, so good. Squeeze your elbows. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha, down dog. 3 rounds of breath here. And just taking 1 more deep breath in to fill up through your belly. And a deep breath out to release. And then gently, slowly start to walk your hands towards your feet to the back. So you're gonna find a standing forward fold at the back, setting up for Padangusthasana or hand to big toe pose. So you'll wrap your peace fingers, first 2 fingers around your big toes. And from here, bend your knees, inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, extend your legs, hinge your torso forward, bend your elbows out. Just 4 to 5 rounds of breath here. Shift your weight towards the ball mounts of your feet. Use your elbows as leverage to bring your forehead closer to your knees, still maintaining length in your spine. And you can always keep a micro bend in your knees here. And then when you're ready, walk your fingertips forward. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, Padahastasana, hand to foot pose. So from here, sliding your hands, palms face you, fingers face the back under your feet. Toes reach your wrist creases. Bend your knees, inhale, flat back, lengthen, gaze forward. Exhale, extend your legs, let your head and neck drop. And then again, if you need to bend your knees, you can. Keep bending your elbows. And if you want a balance challenge, shift your weight forward towards the ball mounds of your feet, right? Maybe you start to even lift your heels off the mat. Fully relax your head and neck, like gravity traction through your head and neck. And then notice if your shoulders are riding up towards your ears, let them relax. 1 more breath. And walk your fingertips forward. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, walk your hands back to your downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. 1 more, inhale and exhale. Now lift your heels, soften your knees, step, or jump to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, chair pose, sit low, reach high. Exhale, drinking bird. Lift your heels, draw your arms back behind you. Think about keeping your shoulder blades back. Crown of your head reaches forward. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, chair, drop your heels, reach high. Exhale, drinking bird. One more. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, drinking bird. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, ground your heels, stand tall, reach overhead. Exhale, mountain arms by your sides. All right, so we found our Parangustasana. We'll start to play around with our Uddita Hasta Parangustasana, or extended hand to big toe pose. You might need a strap. I'll demo how to use a strap. You can see if you want to use it or not. From here, you can just keep it around your neck like a scarf just in case, right? Inhale to lift your left foot off the mat. Reach your arms overhead for balancing mountain. So left knee is in line with your left hip. Flex your foot. You have the option. You can either find your yogi toe lock, bind your peace fingers around your big toe, grab the outer edge of your foot, or use your strap, right? You can use a loop. You can just strap it around the palm under of your foot. From here, option to stay here, right hand to your right hip, or option to start to extend your leg out in front of you. And then option to stay here, option to sweep your left leg to the left, start to reach your right fingertips towards the opposite direction. Holding for about 3-4 rounds of breath. Really think about lifting through your quadriceps here, right? Let yourself stumble a little bit. That's your vestibular system, right? Trying to keep you stable. And then notice if you're piking your left hip up, can you lower it in line with your right? Beautiful. One more inhale. Settle on the exhale. Inhale back to center. Listen here. Drop your strap. Drop your toe lock. Keep your leg lifted. So same thing that we did in the very beginning. Activating your hip flexor. Lift through your leg. Arms overhead. Holding for 4. Hold for 3. Yes, you can. Can you lift one more inch for the last 2? Last one. Warrior 3. Hinge your torso forward. Extend your left leg back behind you. Finding your balance here, right? Keeping a micro bend in your right knee. Power through your back heel. Crown of your head reaches towards the opposite direction. We're not here for long, just staying for one more inhale. Settle on the exhale. Inhale to bring your hands to your hips. And then exhale, ground your left heel back onto the mat, setting up for pyramid pose, right? So you want to find your stance. You're going to keep both of your heels grounded down. So you don't want your heel to be too far back. You don't want it to be too far forward. You want to find a nice sweet spot, and you can always change this, right? Heels are in line with each other. Back foot is a little bit towards the 45-degree angle. With your hands, draw your right hip to 3 o'clock, left hip to 9 o'clock. So left hip forward, right hip back. Power through and extend your legs. Inhale, crown of your head reaches forward, lengthen through your spine. And then exhale, pyramid pose. Let your hands drop to the mat. Or blocks if you want to bring the floor closer to you. Finding length through your spine on the inhales. And then hinging forward on the exhales. Really keeping that back leg active by pressing through the blade of your back foot. And again, if you want to readjust your stance, you can, keeping your hips square. Just 3 more rounds of breath. And then from here, inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, supported warrior 3. So bringing your fingertips to the mat or blocks in front of you. Lift your left leg. Inhale, lengthen, gaze forward. Exhale, Shiva squat, left knee behind your right. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Last one, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. 2 rounds of breath. Option for a balance challenge. Maybe you start to lift your hands to heart center. And then from here, if you lifted your hands, drop them back to the mat. Inhale, open, lengthen. Exhale, drop your left knee to the outer edge of your right foot, setting up for Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Ooh, yeah, I'm losing my words here. So you have options. You can either stack your right knee on top of your left, bringing your heels towards your sitting bones. If this feels like it's too intense on your hips in this moment, you can simply just stack your right shin on top of your left shin, right? Choosing whatever feels good. And then for the arms, you might need a strap, right? So again, just keeping it around. If you need it, I'll demo how to use it. You're gonna reach your left fingertips, left arm extends up to the ceiling, and then right hand, palm facing the back, bend your right elbow, bring it to the base of your spine, right? So from here, now you start to bend your left elbow, reaching down towards your spine, and you can either find your bind with your fingertips, or if you want to use that strap, you're gonna grab it with your left hand, bend your elbow, and then grab the bottom of it with your right hand, right? Up to you. And then from here, really think about relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Press your head against your left arm to open even deeper. And then maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to walk, if you're using a strap, you start to walk your fingertips towards each other, little by little. And just staying here for 2 more rounds of breath. You can close your eyes here or soften your gaze. Focusing on opening up here. And then when you're ready, gently letting go of your bind or your strap. From here, right into our next transition, inhale, low boat or boat pose, Savasana, bringing your shins out in front of you. Option to keep your toes to the mat, heels lifted. Option for shins parallel to the floor. Or if you want that challenge, start to extend your legs, right? Chest is loud and proud, chin parallel to the floor, lengthening here at a 45-degree. Holding for 4 more. Hold for 3. Hold for 2. 1, flow through your Vinyasa, cross your ankles under your seat, step, step, or jump back and then flow. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. 3 rounds of breath. Bringing your full attention back to your breath, right? Again, notice if anything that you put away in the very beginning of classes, try to sneak back in. It'll still be there when we're done. Let it go for now. And we'll do all of that on the other side. Lift your heels, soften your knees, travel to the top. Inhale, flat back, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, drinking bird. This time, maybe you lengthen your legs for diverse pose. Twice more, inhale, chair, sit low, reach high. Exhale, divers or drinking bird. 1 more, inhale, chair. Exhale, divers or drinking bird. Holding here for 4, 3, 2. Inhale, chair. And then exhale, stand tall, arms by your sides. Now doing everything on the other side. So again, you can just keep your strap around your neck as a scarf, just in case you need it. This time you're gonna start to lift your right knee, lift your arms overhead. Holding here for 1 breath. Again, notice if you're piking your right hip up, bring it in line with your left. Flex through your right foot. And then again, option to find your yogi toe lock. Peace fingers are on your big toe. Or grab your strap, wrap it under the ball of your foot. Whatever you choose is great, right? From here, option to stay here. Option to extend your right leg. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you find your full Udita Hasta Prangustasana. Oof, a lot of words, right? Right leg extends out, left arm reaches to the opposite direction. And you do want to use your arm, but again, you want to activate through your leg, right? So it's your leg that's doing most of the work by lifting up and away from the floor. Find expansion in your heart space. 1 more breath. And then from here, letting go, again, keeping your right leg lifted. Oof. If you lose your balance, it's okay. Right leg lifted, arms overhead, holding for 4. Use that hip flexor here for 3. Just 2 more. Can you lift 1 more into the last one? 1 more inhale. Exhale, warrior 3, hinge forward. So chest forward, right heel kicks back. You can always bring your arms back, hands to heart center or forward, right? And just holding here for 1 more breath. Hips are square. 1 more inhale, hands to your hips. Exhale, drop your right heel back behind you, again, setting up for pyramid pose. So first time you kind of got the gist of your stance, setting that up right now, yeah? And then again, left hip back, this time right hip forward. Inhale, crown of your head reaches forward, lengthen. Exhale, drape your torso over your left leg, pyramid pose. Again, you can use your blocks here. Let your head and neck be heavy. And just 2 more rounds of breath. You're doing great. And then from here, when you're ready, inhale, lengthen your spine, gaze forward. Exhale, supported warrior 3. Lift your back leg, fingertips to the mat or blocks. Taking a deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat, right knee behind your left. Tiny bend of the left. Twice more, inhale, open, lengthen. Exhale, Shiva squat. Last one, inhale, open. Exhale, Shiva squat. 2 rounds of breath. An option for your balance challenge, you bring your hands to heart center. Keeping your focus on something that is still in front of you. And then when you're ready, inhale to open. Exhale, drop your right knee to the outer edge of your left foot, setting up for Gomukhasana on our other side. Cow face pose. So again, this side will feel different, right? So maybe here you can stack your knees, maybe you can't. And that's okay. You just stack your left shin on top of your right? Listening to your body, give yourself grace. And then just having that strap around in case we need it today. This time you're gonna reach your right arm out towards the ceiling, bend your left elbow, back of your palm on to the base of your spine. And then from here, bend your right elbow or use your strap, right? And then bringing your left hand up towards the top of your spine, right hand down. And here I can find my lock, right? Again, we are not symmetrical. One side, maybe you don't need a strap. The other side, you might. That's okay. Notice if you're really puffing up here through your front side body, close your rib cage, press your head against your right arm to open even more. And then again, just 2 rounds of breath. Maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. Maintaining integrity here in your spine. 1 more inhale. Settle on the exhale. And right into our next transition, inhale, boat pose Navasana. Relax your arms, bring your legs out in front of you, and again, finding your variation. Maybe this time you try to find the balance challenge, knowing that you're allowed to change your mind, right? If you don't like this, go back to what you were doing before. Holding for just 4, holding for 3, holding for 2. Let it go on 1, cross your ankles under your seat, step or jump back, flow through your Vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing, 3 rounds of breath. Again, really think about expanding through your belly here, engaging your diaphragm by filling up on the inhales, and then contracting on the exhales. And then from here, we're gonna start to find spinal waves, so a little bit more spinal action. Start to lift your heels round through your spine, slowly roll forward to your high plank position. And then from here, bend your knees, lift your tailbone, send your seat to your heels back to your down dog. I'll explain that again. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, slowly roll forward to your high plank. Exhale, bend your knees, send your seat to your heels, and then your down dog as you extend your legs. And just taking a couple more of these at your own pace. You can make these really dramatic. You can make these a little bit more gentle, right? Using everything from the base of your spine to the crown of your head, right? So your cervical spine, the back of your neck is still a part of your spine. 1 more breath. Meeting me in downward facing dog when you're ready. Taking a deep breath in. Flutter your lips on the exhale. Twice more, deep inhale. Flutter on the exhale. Last one, inhale. Flutter on the exhale. Letting go of all the muscles here in your face. And just stay for 1 breath. And then from your downward facing dog, inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, come down to your knees, cross your ankles under your seat. We'll set up for a seated wide-legged forward fold. So just like we started, right? Find your straddle, legs are wide and extended. This time we're gonna make this a restorative wide-legged forward fold. So if you have your blocks or if you have anything you can use to rest your forehead on it, then you can start to set that up, right? I like to use either 2 blocks. Sometimes I'll use 1 low, 1 high. If I'm feeling a little bit tighter that day, I'll put it on the high, right? You wanna find a place where it's comfortable but not too comfortable, right? So we're gonna stay in this for a little while. I don't want you to be so uncomfortable that it hurts, but I don't want you to feel so comfortable that your body is not progressively leaning into the stretch, right? So somewhere in between, kind of like Goldilocks, and then making sure you set up your blocks wherever your forehead is gonna rest, and how to lengthen through your spine. And then exhale to hinge forward, let your forehead rest down, and just breathe here. And you don't have to worry about keeping your feet flexed, right? You can just fully relax your legs. And again, we'll be here for a bit. So if you need to readjust, if you find that you're more towards one side than the other, you can do that. And just staying here with your breath. Noticing if your mind starts to wander, can you bring your
focus back to your inhales and your exhales. Not resisting any thoughts that may come up, but rather just acknowledging them and then putting them away for later. And then you might start to notice that with time, you might get a little bit more and more comfortable, and you can start to move your blocks too, right? Maybe you bring them to a lower angle, maybe not. Again, make this work for you, make this intuitive into your body. Notice if you start to feel the urge to shift around, to move around, to fidget, just let yourself be, right? See if you can lean into the stillness. Let your body be heavy, let the floor support you, let yourself be held by the floor, held by the stillness, the silence. And then you can stay here for as long as you'd like, right? If you want to pause the video, you can stay here longer. But if you would like to move on and finish your practice, you can start to walk your fingertips towards you to lift your torso, move your blocks out of the way or any props that you used. And then just gently bringing your feet under your seat to find your downward facing dog. We'll finish with some pigeon poses here. So you can lift your right leg high behind you, three-legged down dog. Exhale, drop your right knee behind your right wrist, right foot behind your left wrist, and then setting yourself up for your pigeon. You might want a block under your right hip, under your forearms or hands, forehead. Inhale, lift here, open through your heart space, and then exhale to fully release. Making sure that left heel is directly behind your left hip. Gently flexing your right foot to protect your right knee, and just let gravity do the work here for you. And then again, you can stay here for longer if you'd like, or you can plant your hands back to the mat under your shoulders, untuck your left toes, lift your left knee back to your downward facing dog. Left side now, lift your left leg back behind you. Exhale, left knee drops behind your left wrist, left foot behind your right wrist, setting yourself up here. And then again, this side will feel different, right? So maybe you use more blocks, less blocks, up to you. Inhale, lengthen, shine your heart space forward. Exhale, release, let it all go. Noticing if you are holding on to any tension here anywhere, right? In your upper body, lower body. See if you can gently let go, little by little. And then again, you can stay here for longer if you'd like, or just gently starting to lift yourself back up. Untuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and find your downward facing dog. Maybe you pedal out your feet, shake out anything that needs to get shaken out. And then we'll finish on our backs here. So you're just gonna slowly shift forward to drop your knees to the mat, uncross your ankle, or cross your ankles under your seat, bring your feet out long in front of you. And then if you need blocks with you, if you need a blanket, whatever it is that you need, just bring it with you and we'll find our way onto our backs here. And we're gonna find a bridge pose. So from here, making sure your feet are hips width distance apart. Make sure you can graze your heels with your fingertips, right? And then planting your hands down to the mat, making sure that there's no space between your mat and your back, right? Plug your mid back down to keep your core engaged. And then from here, lift your hips up, finding your bridge pose. And you can stay here, or if you want to intensify, start to interlacing your fingers behind your lower back. If you want something a little bit more restorative, you can just insert a block under your tailbone and then rest on it. And just staying for 2 to 3 more rounds of breath. Really lifting through your hips here, using your shoulders against the floor and then rooting your heels down. And then when you're ready, gently coming back down. And again, you will have the option here to either find your bridge again or find a gentle wheel pose. So you can bring your hands by your ears, fingers face the same direction you're facing, elbows up to the ceiling. And then from here, lifting your lower back, middle back, upper back, you root down into your hands to extend your arms. Again, you can just stay in your bridge here, really rooting down through your heels. See if you can bring your chest further back towards the back of your mat. Let your head and neck fully drop. And just 3 more rounds of breath. Magnetizing your inner thighs towards each other, really rooting down through the points of contact you have with the floor. And then when you're ready, gently starting to bring your chin to your chest, bend your elbows, drop the top of your spine, middle of your spine, bottom of your spine, and then bring your feet as wide as your mat, let your knees knock in towards each other, and just to neutralize your spine. I'm staying here for 2 to 3 rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, just hugging your knees in towards your chest, rock side to side, massage your lower back, middle back. Keep your right knee here, extend your left leg long in front of you, finding your half wind relieving pose. And then maybe you roll your ankle one way and then the other. Inhale to give yourself a tight squeeze. And then exhale, twist. Drop your right knee to the left, cactus, or extend your left arm out to the right. Right arm out to the right. Make sure both of your shoulders are firmly grounded here. Maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. Inhale back to center. And then exhale, switch your legs out, hug your left knee, extend your right leg. And again, maybe you circle your left ankle one way and then the other. Inhale, give yourself a tight squeeze. And then exhale, twist, drop your left knee to the right, cactus, or extend your left arm out to the left. And just letting your body be heavy here. And then when you're ready, inhale back to center. Both of your knees hug in. Option to find your happy baby. So you're going to bring your arms inside your knees. Grab either your shins, ankles, or blades of your feet as you open your knees towards the outer edges of your body. And then maybe you rock side to side. Maybe you extend one leg and then the other. Finding a nice hip opener here. See if you can find a little bit of tension as your hands press down against your feet and your feet press up against your hands. And then feeling free to pause this video if you are craving any other postures, any other stretches to tie out your practice. If not, we'll start to set up for our Savasana.
So you're gonna let your legs play out, let your arms play out, let your body be heavy against the floor as you relax your eyebrows or the space between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders, your cheeks, your belly, your lower back, fingers, toes. Imagine the floor is molding into the shape of you. Fully closing your eyes if you have not done so already. And then just completely releasing here in Savasana for a couple of minutes. And then friends, you are welcome to stay here for as long as you need, right? If you'd like to just end the video and finish Shavasana at your own pace. If not, I'd like to thank you so much for joining me, for allowing me into your home to lead your practice today. As always, I am here for any suggestions, any comments that you may have, anything that you would like to see. Leave a comment below, make sure you subscribe, and thank you all so much. Until next time, thank you.